I have played volleyball my whole life. I started playing like rec leagues when I was probably like 6 or 7. So yeah, that's pretty much the only sport I've played my whole life. My whole life was kind of dedicated to volleyball. April 19th, 2021, me and my sister were actually coming home from volleyball practice. The weather was very bad. My sister was driving. We went around like a curve and then we flipped and then rolled down a hill on the other side of the road. We were both ejected. I shattered 5 vertebrae, but my L1 gave me a spinal cord injury. In the ambulance, I remember asking the EMTs if I was gonna be able to play in regionals the next day. And I don't think I had really understood what was going on. I for sure thought I had lost everything. Everything that I once lived for, I had lost. The first day I was there, I remember Danielle brought, I think it was 5 other kids. They came and introduced themselves to me, and from I hadn't met anyone. I felt like I was very by myself. So meeting other kids my age was very helpful.
Teen rehabilitation at Craig is designed for adolescents to come together and support each other. Most of our teenage patients, when they come to Craig, is some of the most resilient in the hospital. And even though they're going through so much on top of being a teenager, they persevere and they push each other, and they're just really wonderful people.
From the first day I was there, a harness was holding 90% of my weight to the last day I was there is when I'm walking with crutches on my own. So things like that, I think I kind of don't realize the progress I've made just because I'm doing it every day.
Zoe did really well during her inpatient rehabilitation and then proceeded to do even greater things during her outpatient rehabilitation. But ultimately, she was so eager to just get back to living her life. And one of the things that always provided her hope was volleyball.
Getting back into volleyball was probably the biggest obstacle. I decided that I'd rather be involved with the sport at least a little bit rather than distance myself completely. So. Senior night finally comes and I get ready to serve. I was feeling good, we had been practicing, and it doesn't go over again. And so I sit down on the bench and I'm okay, it's okay, I'm fine. A couple points later I try again, it doesn't go over. And at that point I was I don't know if I want to do this. He looks at me and he's I don't care, we haven't been working at this for nothing. So I get up again and he whispers in my ear before I serve, he was you got this, it's gonna go over. Since I had been working at it for so long, I knew that I couldn't give up knowing that I didn't keep trying.
Make it a lifetime of continued learning. That's where it's at. Dollop in plenty of resilience. Zoe, you're amazing.
I had decided probably a year before graduation that I wanted to make it a goal to walk across the stage. My sister, I wanted her to kind of just be there just because she's kind of been there through the whole thing already.
Zoe Kathleen Rollins!
I remember walking across and looking down and she was staring up at me with tears in her eyes, just standing there.
Congratulations, class of 2023.
It felt good because obviously my injury happened during high school, so to be able to walk kind of out of high school and know that I overcame telling them I'd never be able to walk again was just a good feeling. And having everyone there, my grandma, my parents, everyone who has been there through this journey was there to watch it. I was scared people would see me differently, treat me differently. Even just being here for 2 weeks, I have met groups of people who have been so supportive of me. I wanted to make use out of my injury and help people that are going through what I went through. So I met the psychologist at Craig and I loved her. She was very helpful, and I kind of just decided that I wanted to do something like that and be like a therapist or a psychologist. I know when I was in there, it was helpful to like talk to someone who was understanding of what I had been through.
Getting to see her growth over time, she was this really quiet, hesitant, young girl, and I got to see her grow into this amazing young woman who is taking all of these really amazing opportunities and living her best life.
After a while, I just realized you can't look at it from like, oh, like now I can't do anything. Like I'm not gonna be able to play volleyball again. Like, okay, but that doesn't mean that I still can't like live the same life I was living. I still went to state and did all of that, and Craig kind of just taught me to look at it not as from the perspective of like, okay, like my life is over. It's more of like, I had to learn how to live my life in a different way. Don't take anything for granted, because obviously like you never know what's gonna happen, and for like the good or the bad, just live in the moment.